Hi everybody. I haven't seen you for a while since I finished Elmer and the Dragon, but I thought I'd start a new chapter book today. I'm going to kind of read it in 3 or 4 parts. The chapters are really short, so I'm just going to read a little bit at a time and maybe 3 or 4 sessions. It's called Lulu and the Brontosaurus by Judith Bjorst. She has a little note at the beginning. It says, "Okay, all right, you don't have to tell me. I know. I know that people and dinosaurs have never lived on the earth at the same time, and I know that dinosaurs aren't living now. I even also know that paleontologists, folks who study dinosaurs, decided that a dinosaur that was once called a Brontosaurus, a very nice name, shouldn't be called Brontosaurus anymore, and changed it to a Patasaurus, a kind of ugly name. But since I'm the person writing this story, I get to choose what I write, and I'm writing about a girl and a Brontosaurus. So if you don't want to read this book, you can close it up right now. You won't hurt my feelings. And if you still want to read it, here goes. I think we should read it. Chapter 1. There once was a girl named Lulu, and she was a pain. She wasn't a pain in the elbow, and she wasn't a pain in the knee. She was a pain, a very big pain in the butt. Now, Lulu was an only child, and her mom and dad gave her everything she wanted. And guess what? Lulu wanted everything. Tons of candy, tons of toys, tons of watching, tons of cartoons on TV. And if her mom and her dad ever said, and they hardly ever said it, "Sorry, darling, we think you've had enough," Lulu would screech till the light bulbs burst and throw herself down on the floor, and then she would kick her heels and wave her arms, and pretty soon her mom and her dad would say, "Well, just this once," and they let her have whatever it was she wanted. Here's Lulu. Chapter 2. 2 weeks before Lulu's birthday, she announced to her mom and her dad that she wanted a Brontosaurus for her birthday present. What did she say? What? A Brontosaurus? Yes, she wanted a Brontosaurus for a pet. At first, Lulu's mom and her dad just thought she was making a little joke. And then they saw, oh horrors, she was serious. They patiently explained that a Brontosaurus is quite enormous. A dinosaur who lives in the forest, not in people's houses. Is that where a Brontosaurus would live? In a forest? I'm afraid that I'm not absolutely sure, but since I'm the person writing this story, I'm putting this Brontosaurus in a forest, along with a lot of other wild beasts that I'm absolutely sure did not live on Earth when dinosaurs were there. Anyway, Lulu's mom and her dad continued explaining to her, although a Brontosaurus is into eating plants, not animals, including human animals like Lulu, and although it is cute in a long-necked, pin-headed way, it is much too huge and much too wild to be a good pet. A dog, a cat, a goldfish, a bird, a gerbil, a guinea pig? Yes. A Brontosaurus? Definitely no. Chapter 3. No? Her mom and her dad were telling Lulu no? Lulu wasn't used to hearing no, and she really hated hearing no. To show how much she hated it, she screeched and screeched and screeched till all the light bulbs in the living room burst. "I want a Brontosaurus for my birthday present," she said between screeches. "I want a Brontosaurus for a pet." "Well, maybe we could get you a nice pet rabbit," said her mom. "Or even," said her dad, "a nice pet rat." "No, no, 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 no," screeched Lulu. "I want a Brontosaurus for a pet." And she threw herself down on the floor and kicked her heels and waved her arms and screeched some more. Chapter 4. 4 days, 8 days, 10 days, 12 days passed, and Lulu kept saying, "I want a Brontosaurus." Her mom and her dad just kept on saying no, and Lulu kept screeching and throwing herself on the floor and kicking her heels and waving her arms. Lulu's mom and her dad kept saying no until finally, on the 13th day, the day before Lulu's birthday, right after lunch, Lulu said to her mom and her dad, Okay then, foo on you. She had terrible manners. If you aren't going to get me a Brontosaurus, I'm going out and getting one for myself. Lulu packed a small suitcase, said goodbye to her mom and her dad, and walked out the door. And they let her go, partly because they thought she'd change her mind and come running back home in about 2 minutes, and partly because it was nice not to have her screeching and kicking and waving and being a pain. Let's have a cup of tea and a couple cookies, Lulu's mom said to her dad. Excellent idea, her dad replied. So they went into the kitchen and started munching on some cookies and sipping tea, and pretty soon they had forgotten all about Lulu. I'm going to stop there for right now. The first part will be on chapter 5 next on the next session. Bye.